the Marvel Comics Rogue, The Savage Land #1. Tim Seeley was the writer on this one. Zulema Scotto Lavina is the artist. Rochelle Rosenberg was the colorist. VC's Ariana Maher was the letterer, and Kara Andrews was the cover artist for this one. Another title I really enjoyed. So in a nutshell, it's an old story. Now, we haven't heard much from the Savage Land in a long time, so it's an X-Men I don't want to say world, continent, a hidden continent that's run. There's a bunch of dinosaurs, prehistoric animals. KA-ZAR is there, so he's like a caveman wanderer. King. I was saying King Kong, George of the Jungle type of character, but not goofy. And the Savage Land, any mutant that has mutant abilities, you automatically lose your abilities on this continent. So the story starts off, and so it's an old story. Well, it's a current story, but from an old story that had taken place prior, many, many years ago. So Rogue has the power to absorb energy from people, and even if you're a mutant, okay, so if you're a human, she's going to drain your life force. If you're a mutant, she can do the same thing, but she absorbs your mutant ability as well. And this is across the board, anyone. So she's a strong motherfucker. She originally got her powers and became even more amped up because she's the one that fucking almost killed Carol Danvers. Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel. Years, this had to have been like the late 80s. And Rogue became so powerful because she drained all of her life force, leaving her a fucking bag of fucking bones for the most part. No shit, legit a bag of bones. And decrepit. And ever since then, Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, has always hated Rogue. Like, hate. So it goes into that story. And how Rogue trying to flee from Captain Marvel, now that, she had got better, and wants to kill Rogue now, Rogue ends up in the Savage Land. And when she ends up in the Savage Land now, we've seen this story before, but not this with this much context and storytelling behind it. So to see Rogue there, powerless, but she's fighting for survival. She's hunting, she's fishing. She doesn't have powers, her abilities to fly anymore. So she comes across the mutant that happens to be there just to get information and to figure out what he wants to do with this deserted continent. And it happens to be Magneto. So to see them and to see the inhabitants of this continent, the Savage Land, come about and want to kill and attack Rogue, and they come to find out that KA-ZAR, has been attacked and kidnapped, and his saber-toothed tiger comes and warns Rogue, and Rogue's like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here, Magneto. He needs help. Magneto's like, nah, this ain't my fucking problem, girl. You think I give a fuck about anyone? So to see them work together, and granted, barely issue #1, but it was cool to see this story again. So for me, as an old school guy, and to know the story is cool, and just a newer story of what I had read is really cool to see. And if you guys are curious about this, it's a good first story. You guys don't need the background, but this issue gives you a quick rundown of what had happened years ago. So it's just a good single issue to start off with, and I think it's going to be a limited series anyways. But again, worth checking out.